Foundation. This is my favorite event of the year. It happens to be a fundraiser, but it really celebrates the best of Upper Dublin, and of all of the things I enjoy going to and the celebrations and various fundraisers that we have, this is by far my favorite one. And I hope that by the time you leave tonight, you feel a little lighter, a little happier, and very inspired. So, following tradition, now that everybody's taken their seats so obediently, we're going to have you rise. We will say the Pledge of Allegiance to a flag that is somewhere. We're going to go flagless. Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you. So, this event is coordinated by a lot of different people. There are 4 organizations here in Upper Dublin that help to coordinate this entire event. We have the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, the School District of Upper Dublin Township, and the Fort Washington Business Alliance. So coming together, these 4 groups really put this whole event together. There's many months of planning, and you're really in for a treat. For those of you who are new to this event, I just wanted to let you know that this is Upper Dublin's most prestigious award, and tonight we will be giving out 5 medals. So one will be for Outstanding Citizen, one is for Outstanding Business or Nonprofit, one is for Outstanding Educator, and we'll be giving 2 awards out for Outstanding Students in the Leadership category. Okay, so award candidates are recommended by the community members who submit nomination forms. And then there are distinct selection committees for each of the medals that I mentioned. And then those committees are made up of representatives from the Board of School Directors, Township Board of Commissioners, parent-teacher groups, Education Foundation directors, community members, and local business representatives. So we really try to pull from the community all these different people together, sit them around a table, have them review the nominations, and pick the best people. Okay. So each committee reviews all of those, and I think at this time I'd like to introduce the planning committee. So they put this event together from those 4 organizations. And let me do that now. Please hold your applause to the end, and may I ask these people to stand. From the school district, we have Superintendent Deb Wheeler, Sue Lohoffer, and Brooke Evans. From the township, we have the township manager, Paul Leonard, and Deb Ritter. From the Fort Washington Business Alliance, we have Barry Rose, President, and Kathy Disk. And from the Upper Dublin Education Foundation, we have Vanessa Good, President, Art Levinowitz, and Executive Director Michelle Boaz. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to the business sponsors who really make this happen. So please hold your applause to the end. We have a platinum sponsor, BET Investments, represented by Michael Markman. We have a gold sponsor, George's Market at Dreshertown, George Andregian. We have Temple University Ambler, and here tonight is Saul Katzman. And you can rise for all these. We have Ambler Area YMCA, represented by Carol Pinder. And then other sponsors including Timothy Knox, we have Ann Thornburg Weiss, and Bowles Smythe Associates. We also have some very special thanks to Kirkland Printing. We have Kristen Shada, who helped put together the gorgeous program for tonight, Jean McGonigal of Ambler Flower Shop, and I just want to mention a little shout out to to the UD community students who put together all of the boutonnieres that everyone's wearing. So thank you. We have the Ambler Gazette, which helps publicize the various candidates, and also Manufacturers Golf and Country Club, Mary Dwyer, club manager, and Linda Howard, banquet manager. Thank you so much for hosting this tour. At some point, look through your program, because there are also a list of a lot of other businesses in Upper Dublin through the Fort Washington Business Alliance who contribute to this event with many donations, and it's a fantastic group of people. I really want to extend our appreciation to all the generous support. Okay, so before we present our first award, you're going to end up getting to know like just about everybody in the room. I would like to recognize all of the past winners of this Upper Dublin medal that are here in attendance tonight. I'm going to ask you to please stand when I mention your name, and we'll give you some applause when the last name's been read. So for Citizen, we have 1995, Bob Danaher. 1996, Robin Costa. 2002, William Gift. 2010, Mark Lutman. 2011, Jules Mermelstein. 2013, Sue Deal. For Educator of the Year, 1999, Jamie Adler. 2000, Cheryl Hall. 2006, Mary Jane Coons. 2007, Randy Windheim. 2009, Heather Boyer. 2011, Steve Heck. 2012, Brenda Ritchie. 2016, Kim Schuler. And for business nonprofit, we have 1998 Glen Center Pharmacy, represented by Greg Deal. Hello. 2003, Temple University Ambler, represented by Saul Katzman. 2007, UDJAA, represented by Mike Klein. 2008, Fort Washington Fire Company No. 1, Eric Clausen, representing. 2010, Greenfield Foundation, represented by Jill Greenfield-Feldman. 2011, PMC Mechanical, represented by Harry Santangelo. 2013, Upper Dublin Aquatic Club, represented by Ronald Buff Keeler. And we have 2014, Friends of Upper Dublin Public Library, represented by Jan Kroner. 2016, Upper Dublin Soccer Club, represented by Brian Pollock. Congratulations. I know like half the people now in the room, so that's great. At this time, I'd like to introduce our first award presenter. He is an Education Foundation board member. He's a community activist and overall good guy, Bob Danaher.
Thank you. I don't ever remember having to read their presentation before, but I'm a little nervous tonight about this one. So good evening, and it's my privilege tonight to present Upper Dublin Citizen of the Year, Ken Foster. And this is a long overdue recognition, and it's all Ken's fault. Ken is so quiet and so unassuming that you never know he was there. If you notice something got done recently in Upper Dublin, you don't know who the hell did it, it was probably Ken. Seriously, he's in and he's out. I met Ken over 30 years ago. We had kids on a very young sports team together, and we got to like each other, I think. And Ken was already on the UDJA board of directors. And I knew him for 6 months and never knew him, because he never said a word about it, because that's Ken. But he was there volunteering to help whatever needed to be done, and that's Ken. The following year, all you soccer people in the room, close your ears. Soccer was failing in Upper Dublin, and it needed new blood. And Ken was one of the first to step up and serve on a second board of directors for youth sports. And for a sport he doesn't even like that much. But he did. And the new blood thought that to increase membership, they should make some changes. They needed some facilities improvements, and they needed real soccer uniforms, not $3 t-shirts. But they didn't want to raise the fee because they were trying to raise membership. So Ken, almost unasked, went out and started soliciting sponsors for teams. And for many years, I think 8 or 10, Ken raised many thousands of dollars, some years as much as $20,000. And nobody knew he did it because that's the way Ken was. When the baseball commissioner decided it was time to retire in Upper Dublin, Ken just quietly took on that responsibility because it didn't look like anybody else was going to step up. He even went out and bought an old used beat-up pickup truck with his own money just so he could deliver and pick up equipment boxes that we keep behind the backstops. And once again, never said a word. But if that gives you a picture of Ken, there's another side of Ken. And this is a guy that must have had, still probably does, have a tremendous amount of free time. Because that's just the tip of the iceberg, what he does. And I did notice that not long after his company put a GPS in his company truck, Ken retired so that he could continue to do the more important things in life. Appreciate that, Ken. You can find Ken still stocking snack bars, grooming infields, repainting faded lines out on the fields, and plenty more. And when football, which had taken a 20-some-year hiatus in Upper Dublin, decided to come back, Ken was in the forefront. And who do you think volunteered to serve on the commission? And there was a lot of young blood who didn't have Ken's experience with how do you run a sport. Ken was there. But still shows up to stock the snack bar and fill the ice. So I feel like this puts Ken in a very elite group of Upper Dublin volunteers, people who have dedicated more than half their lives to other people's children. And I'm proud to know Ken and to know he did that. But I have found Ken to be unique in one way. Ken has done all this and no personal agenda. Never once sought any credit, shies away from it, never tried to get an advantage for any of his own kids when they played youth sports. And that is amazing. And that's why I'm so proud to present to you tonight Upper Dublin Citizen of the Year, Ken Foster.
Tough to follow. Bob said everything I wanted to say, so I'm done. So now a little bit. If I can get the words out. Oh, by the way, I'm not a public speaker. I'd like to thank the Medals Committee and Manny's for hosting this, and all of you who have come out tonight. And I'd also like to share the award with all of the volunteers that are sitting here tonight. Coaches, administrators, snack stand people, equipment managers, so many jobs. And it's all volunteer. Makes my job a lot easier. There's thousands of volunteers out there. There's hundreds here tonight. And my heart thanks you. That's all.
Good evening, everyone. My name is John Dean, and I'd like to take on a little journey. I'm going to take you back to Saturday, April 13th, 2013. It was around noon. I was driving my car with my wife, Charlotte, and we were driving on Mount Pleasant Avenue near North Spring Garden Street in Ambler. It was a beautiful day. But the next thing that I remember that day that somebody was saying to me, "Mr. Dean, can you hear me?" I kept my eyes closed. I felt the rocking of the vehicle and I heard sirens. But I gathered enough energy to say, "I'm fine, but where am I?" I was told that I was in an ambulance heading to Abington Hospital. I was then asked, "Mr. Dean, would you please sign this form?" Now, I'm a banker, so you have to understand, I'm used to signing documents all the time. And I realized even the state that I was in, that nobody could hold me accountable for whatever I said. So I slowly opened my eyes, I grabbed a pen, and I signed my name. And then we arrived at the hospital at 12:37. And before being removed from the ambulance, I did get a chance to ask the person that was taking me away, what did I sign and why? I was told that I was signing a certification of cardiac arrest. And I was told that no one ever signed their own certificate of cardiac arrest. And I didn't think very much of it, but I just assumed that they were doing it to speed the process of paperwork up. And I just normally signed it. But apparently what happened to me was I was behind the wheel and I was having a ventricular fibrillation, which basically means that I was not getting any blood to my brain, and that's why I passed out. Luckily, my wife was there next to me and had the presence to call 911 and start CPR on me. The police were the first to arrive, and then the community ambulance was followed up shortly after that. But when they got there, I was not breathing and I had no pulse. They continued administering CPR and they shocked me twice, which brought me back to life. The community ambulance was instrumental in stabilizing me and making sure that I was no longer in danger. Now, once stabilized, the community ambulance personnel immediately went to my wife to make sure that she was all right and informed her that I was breathing on my own and that I was conscious. Not only were they caring for me, but they were also caring for my wife at that time. Now, just imagine, I was fine one moment, I was dead the next moment. I was brought back to life, and I arrived at Abington Hospital 37 minutes later. Speed and efficiency is crucial in the time that I had as far as my event that I did have. Well, a year later, I received a phone call from Dave Fleming, who was Executive Director of the Community Ambulance Association of Ambler. He asked that a reporter wanted to do an article on the first responders and wanted to know if I was willing to speak to him about my experiences that I had, and I jumped at the opportunity. I was informed that the individuals from the Community Ambulance Association and the police, those individuals that were instrumental in saving my life, were going to be at that meeting. And I was going to meet the people that saved my life. I was nervous and scared and excited all at the same time. But when my wife and I got to the Ambulance Association, we walked into the room, and all we could do was thank them for saving my life. And we gave each one of them a hug. The tears started to flow, but not just from me and from my wife, but also from the first responders. You see, in a matter of 37 minutes, these individuals were now an integral part of my life. Well, we sat around the conference room table and we shared our experiences, and I made a comment that I signed a certification of cardiac arrest. But the reporter kind of twisted his head a little bit and said, "Why did you have him sign that certificate? And why did you do it?" And basically what they said was, we have never, that we're aware of, had anybody sign their own certificate of cardiac arrest. And that's because no one survived that event. Apparently, less than 4% of the individuals that experienced what I experienced survive. And that's mainly because they're alone when this whole situation happens. They also mentioned to me that they almost never meet a victim after the event because in most cases those individuals die shortly after the event for one reason or another. So this meeting was a special event, not just for me, but also for the first responders because I am the product of the work that they do. But I was the lucky one because my wife was there with me. And she had the presence to call 911 and help arrive in minutes. In some ways, I think she was more of the person who everybody was impressed with because she gave CPR immediately when I was there. Because when I went to the hospital, when I was in my hospital room, they said, "Are you Mr. Dean?" I said, "Yeah." And they said, "Well, where's your wife?" So you see, people like me are the individuals that the Community Ambulance Association help every single day. Prior to my event, I didn't think twice about an ambulance rushing by me when I was driving on the road. I didn't think about the individual that was sitting in the back of that ambulance and what they were going through. And I didn't even imagine what an ambulance personnel was doing and what they were thinking when they were helping that person. What they were doing was they were responding to somebody in need. When you see that, they're always cool and collected. I can never figure that out. But what I realized is that they were true professionals and caring individuals whose only desire is to help others in need. Hopefully, you will never need individuals like this in your lifetime. But if a 911 call is made in this community, rest assured that the Community Ambulance Association of Ambler will be there at any time, in any place to help you and perhaps save your life, just like you saved mine. So now it's my sincerest honor to now present the 2017 Outstanding Nonprofit Organization Award to Jack Hoop, who represents the Community Ambulance Association of Ambler.
Tough act to follow. I just want to say, if any of you are considering being sick tonight, the chief informed me that he did bring the new ambulance over for you all to see, but he had to park at Lulu Temple. So, I want to thank everybody that came tonight, the commissioners, my good friend Paul Leonard, township manager, all of the wonderful individuals that put on this event, and our fellow Upper Dublin residents and citizens. I'm very proud to say that I'm one of those. It's been over 50 years that I've been here in the township, and it's a very, very special place, as you all know. So on behalf of all of us at Ambler Ambulance, we thank you for this incredible honor. We're both grateful and humbled to receive it as we celebrate our Diamond Jubilee this year, 75 years. And we're very honored to accept and receive this award on behalf of all of the outstanding individuals that make up our organization. Our organization began at the approach of World War II. We were fueled by the hard work of some very simple community members who wanted to make a difference. And initially, this is I think, really interesting, our coverage area was north to Upper Gwynedd, west to Norristown, south down the Philadelphia border into Manayunk and Roxborough, over through Chestnut Hill, east to Rockledge, and then back up to Ambler, all with a single vehicle. And by the way, volunteer. Pretty amazing. After the war, we helped other communities like White Marsh, Springfield, and Horsham as they began their own ambulance services. We provided training for them. We donated equipment when it was surplus to our needs, and helped our fellow communities because, quite frankly, we were tired. So, through the 1950s and the 60s, our organization became a shining light for many of the other ambulances. We won numerous first aid competitions, both regionally and nationally, which we were very, very proud of because in those days that was bragging rights. And we were very, very proud of that. We were the first service to design and use a modular ambulance. In the days prior to that, we used Cadillacs. Some of you may remember those. In fact, some of the Cadillacs were also pressed into double duties as hearses. We never did that with ours. We were the first ones to design and build the modular ambulance in southeastern Pennsylvania. And when we first brought it here, the other squads looked at it and go, "That's a damn truck." And today it's the standard of the industry, so we're pretty proud of that. We're the first ambulance service in Pennsylvania to be certified by the Department of Health under a voluntary program that was the precursor to today's licensing program. Today you have to be licensed to run an ambulance service in Pennsylvania. In the old days you did not. And we thought that was wrong. We thought there had to be a standard. And when it came time to do that, we stepped up and became the first one that voluntarily met all the requirements. We sponsored the Upper Dublin Police to become the first, and to this day, the only municipal police department quick response unit. Very interesting because if you make a 911 call in Upper Dublin, the police are going to get there before we will because they're on the roads already. They're trained, they have the equipment to take care of business until we arrive. And that program, which we developed with former Chief Terry Thompson, goes on to this day, and it saves lives. It's an amazing program. And you need to thank the police department for all of their efforts because this is something they did not have to do. Today in Upper Dublin, we've been working with Manager Leonard, and we have a pilot program going to try to get the closest ambulance to somebody who has a true emergency. And that's another first step that we're doing here in Upper Dublin that I think is great. And most proud we are of becoming the first ambulance service to provide advanced life support. Our crews being in Pennsylvania's very first class of paramedics. And that's an incredible honor that we all are very, very proud of. And all the while, we've never lost the sense of our mission, which is to serve the citizens and the residents and the visitors to the Wissahickon Valley. Today, we remain committed to that same glowing light as we begin an arduous process of accreditation. And we will be meeting and exceeding the gold standards of our industry. There is no other ambulance in Montgomery County that is currently accredited, and I believe less than 5 accredited throughout the state. And we're working on that now. It's pretty amazing effort, and very, very proud of that. And we do this not to seek recognition, but because for 75 years, our organization has stayed with the single focus of providing the residents and the visitors to our area with the best possible emergency medical services. And we do this facing the most difficult time we've ever experienced, as healthcare provision in our nation remains very uncertain. We see 75% of our patients reimbursed by Medicare. And as you can imagine, the amount of money that we receive from Medicare reimbursements doesn't even meet what it costs us to provide those services. Yet 75% of our patients give us those monies. So, unlike many of our neighbors, though, we open our books to inspection by our municipal shared stakeholders, including regular audits. We're very transparent and very proud of the way that we are fiscally responsible and become good stewards to the community. So tonight I want to thank, in particular, some special individuals. And first of all, our responders under the direction of Chief Dan Asaf and our medical director, Dino Gualtieri. I can never say it right, but I love him to death. Dan and Dino, I know you're here. Want to stand up and take a bow? Unlike many organizations, we all have medical directors. Few of us have a medical director who comes to the ambulance building, takes calls, and goes out on the ambulance, which Dino does regularly. So he's just a part of our crews. Our crews, let me talk about them. Both past and present, we've had some great alumni over the years. We used to be all volunteer. Today we are primarily a career-based organization that is supplemented by volunteers. We still have volunteers. But these men and women answer the call sometimes in the worst conditions. They're starting IVs with pen lights in their teeth. Stuff that they do is pretty amazing, it really is. And even though the conditions are the worst that they can get, they do not falter. We owe these people our thanks. Some of them are here tonight. Would you stand up for a minute? Ambulance is guided by a board of directors that is unique in its makeup when compared to our neighboring organizations. Each municipality that we serve appoints at least one individual to represent that government on our board of directors. And additionally, we seek the best community leaders we can to get the best makeup of our board. Board members are with us tonight. Would our board members that are here please stand up for a second? And that brings us to our administrative staff and a bittersweet moment. David Fleming, our executive director, joined us a few years ago. He's been a pillar of our organization. And he and his lovely bride have announced that they're going to be moving south to Atlanta to be closer to their daughter, who practices law there. And last week, after receiving his proverbial offer that he couldn't refuse, David shared with me his intentions to leave us. So Dave, to both you and Karen, we're certainly going to miss you both. You're always welcome when you come back to visit. However, as we discussed, I do expect a bushel of peaches when you come back. Our sincere thanks. Ambler Ambulance is only what people, you, the community, make it. We're truly blessed with special people. Thank you for this wonderful honor. I sincerely hope in another 75 years, a distant future counterpart of mine will again be able to thank you all for making our organization what it's always been, the best we can be, and a leader that belongs solely to you, the community. Thank you all for
So my name is Jim Owens, and I'm joined here by Amy Nadeau. We are two of the many parents that have been touched, our families, by the outstanding educator this year, Esther Miller, who has been teaching for nearly 40 years. I'd like to thank the Upper Dublin Education Foundation for recognizing Esther. For nearly 40 years, Esther has put her students first, and the recognition of the foundation tonight highlights her love for education and our children. Esther is a teacher who is surrounded by love. If If you were to ask her colleagues, they would say she loves her students. If you were to ask her students, they would say she loves her family. And if you were to ask her family, they would say she loves her colleagues. That circle of love is not a coincidence. It is because on any given day, Esther teaches with her heart as much as she teaches with her brain. Tonight's recognition is a testament not only to being the face of public education, but also being the heart of public education.
I'm short. That heart affects her students and their families well beyond the classroom. We have been incredibly fortunate to have this special woman become a permanent part of our lives. I'm going to try not to cry because she's really, really special to us. She showed an unconditional acceptance and celebration of our children, which allowed them to flourish in her care and for many years beyond. We all know that not all kids are the same, and Esther encourages each child to love him or herself and their education. Esther has not missed any opportunity to support our family, including attending our charity benefits and a yearly walk in memory of my father. It's an exceptional teacher who cares enough about her students to spend her personal time. So happy she got this award. A personal time making a difference in their lives. Speaking of exceptional teachers, if you ask many of them at Jarretttown, they will admit that Esther has been their mentor. For 37 years, Esther's circle of love has impacted not only her students, but the countless others who have benefited because so many teachers have been able to learn from her. Esther will always do what is right for her students, regardless of what is accepted as conventional. She ensures that each child will not only learn the curriculum, but will have fun doing so. Her passion and compassion for teaching the students, their families, and her family make her the perfect candidate, not also as an extraordinary human being. It is my honor to have you all help us welcome and congratulate the Upper Dublin Education Foundation 2017 Outstanding Educator Award winner, our dear friend, Ms. Esther.
First of all, Amy, Jim, those were beautiful words, and I thank all the parents that are here. I see you. I appreciate you. To the teachers, my family, to everyone, I am just so grateful, honored, in shock. I'm standing here in surreal, and it's almost like an out-of-body experience. I also want to congratulate the winners, the medal winners. The day I found out that I won this award, it was right after PSSAs. I was drained, and I said to my kid, I just read to them. I was reading, and then I looked out of the corner of my eye as I'm sitting there doing the thing that I love the best, and I see people at my door, because as an elementary school teacher, you see everything. They could be in the back, they could be giving you a look, and then behind, yes, definitely. And as I looked to the side, I thought, oh my God, I'm having a walkthrough. Because I didn't see the flowers, I just saw Meg standing there, coming in, and I thought, okay, and then I see Dr. Wheeler, and then I see I just saw just a bunch of people standing there, and Art Levinowitz, but then I thought, well, he wouldn't be. I wasn't sure. But at any rate, they walk in with the flowers, and my kids were just staring, like, what the heck is going on here? Staring at me, and, you know, I really had no words. But the best part was, afterwards, thank God it was lunch. It was change, and I thought, I can't focus now. I can't focus. And my grade partners. My grade partners were there. That's what made it very, very special, because there's nothing like I mean, we texted to the night, except Jeff's sleeping, but we had them. So anyway, when I was in the hallway, Julie Rang says, you know, my kids, because they stepped out of their classroom to take pictures and videotape this, and she said her kids thought that I was getting engaged. So Art Levinowitz, your kid, they go wherever you are, because they thought, I mean, we're the only kids. My kids knew better. To be an elementary school teacher for, this is 37 years, and I'm not, Amy, I don't know when I'm going to retire, I don't know, keep going every year because so much. But, you know, I started out at Fort, I started out at Fort for 5 years, but every time I switched a grade, I got pregnant. And that's my 3 sons, and then when I went to 5th, I had grandkids. So, you know, but I like the change, and when I think about it, Gyrotown has been my home for so long, and it's like my family. I can't leave my family. I started out, okay, I was 1st grade, and then I was kindergarten, and then 2nd grade for 18 years. My 2nd grade buddies are here. I love you. We had fun. There was a time I had fun in that hallway. We're talking, and then I was ready. I knew I was ready to go to 5th grade. I wanted the academics, and somebody goes, "You're nuts," because you have the PSSAs, and I said, "Oh, I'd have this." Well, sometimes it's tough, but I'm just so grateful. The life of an elementary school teacher. We have fun every day, and sometimes when I'm told to do certain things, I close the door, I do what's best for those kids. To co-teach Julie Marshall, who's right there. My God, she left us, but you know, how could you? We had fun jumping out of the closets, the kids. I'm not going to go there, but just you know, I learn from my teachers. The teachers, when I sit at meetings, when I see the dedication, when I see the hours, you know, whether it's early, late. I just see the love that all of you at Gyrotown and all the elementary teachers that are here, what you have for those kids. And I learn from you every day, every single day. And whether I'm researching at night or looking for a new idea, I listen to my colleagues and I think, oh my gosh, I learned from you. And the parents too. You can't even imagine the support and the love that I get from you. And of course my kids, when I ask them, what should I say tonight? And they go, first of all, you've been married a long time. Ask your husband, he knows you best. And then they were giving me some advice. And they said, just be yourself, tell a story. You always tell a story. That's what my kids, because I use my own kids as a story. And my sons go, you don't say anything embarrassing, do you? I said, never do that. Again, you can't imagine what happens in a day. From what you teach, every subject you teach, every standard that you teach. It's not about that, because in between all that, it's the student and what they need. And you could be in the middle of an amazing lesson and somebody goes, Mrs. Miller, I love your boots. Or last week, I was just at the end of a math lesson, and somebody goes, "There's a cockroach in the sink." And I said, and that rarely happens, but wait, I will take care of it when I'm done teaching a name. And of course I lost them. But I still got the name lesson. And then when I went in the back and got this thing, I screamed and they were hysterical and I laughed out loud. That's what it's about. It's about those little moments. Or when I was in the middle of a math lesson and I said, close the book, because I could tell they weren't getting it. I said, close the book, we're gonna do it my way, the old-fashioned, my way or the highway. Fraction lesson, but they closed the book. I explained it in 2 minutes. They go, oh, I get it. So I didn't think anything of it. I thought, all right, good, they have it. Next day, I was working with another student and I said to one of my girls, can you help so-and-so? They were absent. And she goes, I have the best method. It's called the my way or the highway. And you're going to see, this is the best method. So they walk around, they think that's what the fractions. Whether they remember it, I don't know. But I also have a phenomenal principal, Meg Place, who and she loves 5th grade the best. But just because she was 5th grade for a long time. I thank you, all of you. But I would have to say that my greatest, I guess, mentor, or my sons who are here, you have taught me how to be a better teacher. Because while I might be like this, although people think I'm all over the place, but you have taught me to think outside of the box. You have taught me acceptance, love. Just when you struggled, I struggled, because let me tell you, when you're a parent, an Upper Dublin parent, and your child goes to Upper Dublin, sometimes I wanted to put a bag over my head and said, yep, but you were everything. I did not do that. Just meeting, when I would go to the meetings and I said, you know, I just know you were just different. And that's what it's all about. I love you so much. I'm so proud of you. And my husband, who listens to my stories and goes, really, Esther? Or when I'm grading these tests and it takes hours, just math, and he goes, oh my God, I could never do that. And I said, I got smart. I learned I'm smarter now. But thank you so much. And to the students that came back, the students, I'm so excited to see all of you. But the most important thing and the most important message I want to say is, it is about the child. It is about love. And this award is in memory of Monty Jesse, who was a student 8, 9 years ago. I will never forget the day that we lost him. Yep. And to know that that particular day, the last day I had him when we were getting ready for open house, I remember him hanging upside down going, hey, Mrs. Miller, it's all right, I'm gonna get it all done, and laughing. I can just hear him in heaven saying, Mrs. Miller, I've got this. And that's all I want to say. I love each and every student, and I thank you for this honor.
So inspirational. There's a little bit more to come. We're gonna introduce you to some students who have very bright futures. So before we introduce the students, I'd like to explain the student selection process because it's pretty rigorous. The teachers, administrators, guidance counselors at Upper Dublin High School, they nominate 3 outstanding male students and 3 outstanding female students from the senior class for the Student Leadership Award. And then all 6 of those go to all their criteria and their transcripts and grades and all their accomplishments goes to a selection committee, and the selection committee reviews all of this information and it's just one better than the next. And having been there myself, it's absolutely impossible to choose because they're all fantastic students, are fantastic people, and they're wonderful leaders in our community. So there is some criteria. The nominated students have shown exemplary leadership qualities in the classroom and throughout their involvement in a lot of different activities in school. It could be drama, athletics, music, the arts, or any other community activities. And these amazing students have maintained superior grades. They go beyond the teacher expectations, and they demonstrate good character, leadership, service, and a real commitment to excellence. So all of the nominees have established themselves as positive role models here in our Upper Dublin community. So I'd like to introduce all of the finalists for this year's Student Awards. These students represent the very best of the best, and I just can't say that enough. They're fantastic students, and I just want you to join me in congratulating the following students. Please all stand, and we'll cheer at the end. Nina Chang, Aaron Blatter, Alexis Schneider, and Dustin Zhang. Of a big school, and my congratulations go to you. You should be very proud. To present the first student award, let me introduce Tony Gianmarco, a social studies teacher at Upper Dublin High School.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to introduce Emma Barson, this year's recipient of the Upper Dublin Medal for Outstanding Female Student. Emma and I met in the fall of 2015. Depending on who you ask, she had the fortunate or unfortunate distinction of being enrolled in my honors world history class. In that class, the curriculum begins with the Renaissance. No study of the Renaissance is complete without examining Baldassare Castiglione's famous work, The Courtier. In The Courtier, Castiglione describes both the ideal Renaissance man and woman. He states that the ideal Renaissance woman is well-rounded, intelligent, artistic, personable, and athletic. Above all, however, Castiglione emphasizes that the ideal Renaissance woman exhibits all these traits with what he calls la sprezzatura, an Italian term that many historians have interpreted as an effortless grace or elegance. While the words were penned more than 500 years ago by Castiglione, we have an example of them in our presence this evening in the form of Emma Barson. One quick glance at Emma's impressive accomplishments reveals that she possesses all the traits and more of a Renaissance woman. What is not revealed in any resume or biography is how she achieved those things. Throughout her 4 years at the high school, Emma appeared to be unaffected by the daily grind and pressures of a high-achieving and highly involved student. Always calm and composed, she was the type of student who turned in quality work in the morning, but never revealed how hard she worked the previous night. The effortless grace or elegance in which Emma carries herself would certainly impress Castiglione. This fall, Emma will be taking her La Sprezzatura to the University of Florida, where she will major in both communication and dance. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's recipient of the Upper Dublin Medal for Outstanding Female Student, Emma Barson.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Gianmarco, for that wonderful introduction. I am so proud and humbled to have won this incredible honor. Just to be in the same group as Phil and the other medal finalists is an honor in of itself. I'd like to start with a few thank yous. Thank you to my sisters, parents, and grandmother who are here this evening for being such great role models and for their endless love and support. I really don't know what I would do without you. Thank you to my best friends for dealing with the fact that I am always busy and still supporting me day in and day out. Thank you to the high school faculty, school board, and administration for being constant advocates. And thank you to the Upper Dublin Education Foundation for recognizing me with this award. I hope to make you proud and use the money wisely. For the last few years, I have volunteered at my alma mater, Thomas Fitzwater Elementary School. at the after-school homework helpers program. I walk through those halls feeling like a giant. When I sit down with my student pairs, they often stray from their workload and interrogate me all about the high school and my social life. They are so anxious to know and experience it all themselves, eager to grow up. I can't help but think I was once them and soon they'll be me, a high school graduate in the blink of an eye. I want to tell them to slow down and appreciate every opportunity available to them, for they are very lucky to grow up in a community like Upper Dublin. Growing up in Upper Dublin has shaped who I am today. I am ambitious because of all the opportunities I have been encouraged to take advantage of. I am inspired because of the value the community places on service and volunteerism. I am enriched because of my exposure to the arts and other cultures. I am driven because of my many challenging teachers who have motivated me to reach my fullest academic and personal potential. And perhaps most importantly, I am prepared and confident to begin my college career. This past Sunday, my family ordered in Chinese food for a relaxed Mother's Day dinner. I realized that my fortune cookie read exactly what Upper Dublin has taught me. It said, "Don't wait for your ship to come in, swim out to it." I am forever grateful for this community that has pushed me to swim out to so many positive experiences. Thank you.
Cars are blocking the area by the front. Okay, so no one can get through. So there's a blue Volvo convertible, a yellow Honda something. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of yellow Hondas, so maybe you know who you are. And then there is a gray Mazda, Pennsylvania plates DWJ 5324. If you could just take care of that, that would be fantastic. Thank you. Let the show continue.
Okay, first of all, can I just say, I am a rule follower. I was told 2 minutes, so I would go on and on about this next recipient, but I wrote it all down because I was told I had to. Okay, so I just want to say how honored and privileged I am. Courage, wisdom, honesty, and strength. These are considered the 4 diamonds used to inspire thousands of students around the state who fight against pediatric cancer through mini-thons. A year and a half ago, I had the privilege of meeting Phil, and now this is how I know him. Working to embody these qualities on a daily basis. As a co-advisor, I worked very closely with Phil and the other Big Ten leaders, including Emma Barsky, winner also, of Minithon. And now I can say with absolute certainty that Phil exemplifies these 4 pillars of character. And I am so proud to know him. Throughout his years of high school, Phil has been involved in many activities, including student government, National Honor Society, Future Business Leaders of America, Spanish Club, and Minithon, helping raise over $35,000 this past year. Leadership positions, he leads other students in calming, considerate, and comedic manner. He is a role model to his peers through his words, his actions, and the choices that he makes. Phil has excelled academically at the high school, but that is only one piece of the puzzle. He works hard to make a difference in the lives of others. Smiling and waving hello through the halls of Upper Dublin, his positivity is infectious. He is grateful and thoughtful, considerate beyond his years. He will be attending Villanova for his higher education, and we wish you the best. Beyond that, Phil, the opportunities are endless. I believe wholeheartedly that you will be thoughtful and thorough in the decisions you make in your future, because that is who you are. Courage, wisdom, honesty, and strength. Take these traits with you. They won't lead you astray, and you will continue to inspire those along your path. I am so very honored tonight to be introducing this outstanding young man to you as the winner of the prestigious 2017 Upper Dublin Male Medal, Phil Dalton.
Thank you all so much for this. There's so many people who've helped get me here, and not enough time to name them. But I'll try and get through as many as I can. 2-minute time, like you said. First of all, thank you to my parents. You made me into who I am today, and I don't think it was ever an easy job. None of us thank you enough, but I really do appreciate you guys. And yes, thank you to my brothers. We mess around a lot, but I do love you guys, usually. Thank you to the Education Foundation and everyone else who helped set this program together. Thank you to Dr. Levinowitz, Dr. Wheeler, Mr. Schultz, and the entire high school administration for running Upper Dublin into high school. Big congratulations to Emma and all the other winners. As we heard, you guys are so good. Also, I think we need to give a big round of applause to Lexi, Nina, Dustin, and Aaron. You guys are just all so incredible. It's an honor to be mentioned with you guys. I've been blessed to have had many, many, many incredible teachers at Upper Dublin, and that goes all the way back to 2nd grade with Mrs. Miller. Hooked me on learning, and when I heard that she would be receiving the award this year of all years, I was incredibly touched. In more recent memory, a big thank you to Mrs. Fontaine for being someone I could talk to, making things like learning about balance sheets fun, which is impossible. Thank you to Mr. Traley, Mr. McBain, and Mr. Hillman for being awesome teachers. Thank you to Senora Green and Mr. Smith for being great teachers as well as great club advisors. Thank you to Mrs. Ward, my guidance counselor, for helping me with the college process and for supporting me. Thank you to Mrs. McNamara for keeping us all sane during Minithon. And a very, very, very special thank you to Mrs. Saxon. She dedicates countless hours to helping others through Minithon and through everything she does at the school. Mrs. Saxon, you're an inspiration, and I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for me. So, as I'm sure many of you remember, and many of the younger people here will soon find out, people change a lot during high school. Fortunately for me, though, there's been one thing that's never changed, and it's the question that I, and I think everybody else over 6'1", get all the time, and that's, do you play basketball? And the answer that Aaron and I like to go with is, we're retired. In 10th grade, I was blown away when I didn't make the JV basketball team. And at the time, I thought it was horrible. This was something I worked incredibly hard at, but I had failed. I know it sounds cliche, but that was truly one of the best things that ever happened to me. Not making the team let me dedicate time to things like Minithon and SGA, things that are far more important to me than basketball ever could be. It let me discover new passions and taught me that it's okay to change during high school. It gave my time at Upper Dublin real meaning. There aren't many places where a failure or a missed chance or a closed door can lead to something spectacular. Upper Dublin is full of opportunities, and I'm very fortunate that it's shaped me into who I am today. Thank you.
Everyone has, really taken in the awe I know I am really in awe of all the accomplishments of everybody who's been up here tonight, all the service of our winners. What a sweet celebration of the best of Upper Dublin. So why don't you please join me in congratulating all the finalists, and let's keep the celebration going. Straight back, we've got desserts. Let's just keep it going. Thank you.